Hello, welcome back to Derail Valley with Freddy. Rejoin me back in Food Factory. Have a quick sort through the jobs. There's a couple of interesting ones here. Unfortunately, although that one's quite tasty, the weight is going to be the problem there. 896 tons. I've had a quick look around and there's a DH2 and a DH6. So as we can only do 600 tons with a DH4, we could put a DH2 on it. That would give us 900 tons. There's a good chance we're going to overpower the DH2. And we've not got the license for the DH6 because that is 200,000. I'd kind of rather not spend that at the moment. We have got two jobs here, 585 tons and 221 tons back down to the harbour. I've had a quick look around as well, and there is not a machine piece here at the food factory, but there is a shop. You see it there just below B, just here. So we're here, shop's over here, so we're going to pop over to the shop quickly as it's raining because see if there's any interesting things we can buy. Now I've not, I don't think, actually shown you my shed in a little bit because I did actually make a few purchases the other day. Let's see what we've got here. Old Bob's garage key. I think it's about time we started picking up these garage keys. Couple of those, couple of those, couple of those. Not worried about the cassettes because that's the in-game boombox that you can use those with. And copyright. We've got some of those. Sure, we've got some of those. Get a couple of those. Bob's garage key. We don't need a crate. We don't need any duct tape. I think we've got those. Pretty sure we've got those. Definitely got those. We've got the hammer. Sand cans. Pick up some of those now. Sure we got those. We'll pick up more solder as and when we require it. I've got some already. So not a huge amount here actually. That's going to cost us 20,000 just for that. Yipes. Now pick up the key. We'll put that into our inventory. Let the remainder spawn. Right, and we will head back over to our little shed as it is raining again and the rain sucks. As you can see, I've already got a fair bit lined up here, and the hammer. So what we do, retrieve lost items. I've got this thing about keeping a tidy shed, because it's easier then if everything's not on the table. When you recall something, it's there when you want it. Now sand cans we will use when we get to the museum pieces because we'll need them for sanding down ready for painting. Chuck those there. Chuck these over here out the way. Looks like we already had some of these. My bad. Right. And we got a few more. Never really that bad a thing. What these brackets are for mounting equipment into the trains. And we get somewhere that's actually got equipment that we can buy. We will start using that. because that is the intention. There are things I want to get for our DH4, because I'm planning on using the DH4 for quite a while. So that's that done. Shed's now nice and tidy again. We're still missing the drill, the welder, the crimping tool and the sealant gun are the other tools we require. So as we pop around the place, get to different places, we will be picking those up. Now one of the places I think would be good to go would be goods factory, machine factory, City West, all got good shops. Been to the one in the harbour, because that's where I picked up the initial stuff. So machine factory in town, not the best job, certainly not the worst. I think what we'll do, we'll have a little sleep through to about 6 o'clock in the morning. And we'll see what things... Yeah, we'll go 5:45 and let it roll to 6 o'clock. Time does move on reasonably quickly within game. Also means it's not raining, so we've got a bit more choice of weight. So as you can see, it's already 5 minutes gone already. So we're at 10 to 6. 6 o'clock we get the weather update. It happens 6 o'clock every morning. So this diagram here in front of me shows all the different things going to different places, so you can sort of plan out what's going to go to where, transport wise, so what things move from place to place. Most of it's fairly obvious. From the forests, they're going to go to the sawmill. Stuff from the farm is either going to go to the towns or the harbour. Steel mill is going to go to machine factory, goods factory, harbour. Coal mine going to the coal power plant. Iron ore mine going to the steel mill. Oil wells going to the oil refinery. Iron ore mine. Food factory goes to the towns and to the harbour. Stuff from the sawmill can go to the goods factory, machine factory or the harbour. Most of it is fairly straightforward. The one thing I have picked up on from watching another YouTuber who is big into Derail Valley as well is the plan for the future development of this game, because it is still in early access. There's going to be another map they're going to put out, as well as AI traffic. Now that's going to be interesting, because there is not a lot of room around here on this map, so I don't know whether they'll do it to this one or do this as the sort of starting learning map. But you imagine the switch is changing whilst you're en route as other traffic is out and about. Right, so we've gone 6 o'clock, so we've got a bit of rain at 12 o'clock, a lot of fog today, so visibility is going to be the main issue. Right, so having a look. Now we are pointing currently out this way. We could turn around and go back out. That is entirely a possibility. We shall see. I think machine factory would be a nice place to go, to be honest. Even though that's a lot more money. Money's not really the great concern now. The great concern now is getting another DH4, which there isn't one here. There's a DE2 and a DE6. So we want to pick up another DH4 from somewhere and visit the other shops so we can start getting equipment to start mounting our train, to start managing the train and managing what we're doing with the train easier. Now whilst we're limited weight wise because of we've only got one DH4, it's not too bad. It could be a lot worse. So what we could do, that's steel mill, that's sawmill. So we could do machine factory down to sawmill, which is SW. And we'll be going past City West as well, and sort of do a stop off at City West. So sort of running from here, back the way we came, but go across this top line this time, all the way around here to through Iron Mine West, down into Machine Factory, down past Coal Power Plant, stop at City West, down onto Sawmill. The problem with that is trying to get a good job out of Sawmill. Because if memory serves right, Sawmill, there is no shop. That's correct, there is no shop. So not the best place for that, and jobs are pretty restricted. Whereas the Machine Factory, we have a shop and there'll be plenty of jobs going out. So I think it's worth just taking a single logistics haul job down to Sawmill. Only 4 little cars, 92 tons, not a big pair, but we'll pay our bills. That's the most important thing. We're getting paid to move from one place to another. We could just take the train there, but then we're covering the cost of actually transiting. So I think this is the best way. Go to Machine Factory here, see what's there, plan our next move from there. So, question. Last video, did a time lapse. Are we enjoying that? Do we think that's better? I am interested. Certainly your guys' opinions on things is certainly what I want to be looking at. So we're picking up from C1S. And of course it looks like it's at the back. Of course it is. Excuse me. You can see the type of cars there. FFLH40. Yep, so it's at the back here. Irritating. So we are Food Factory. We came in from the south, we're on C. So what we really need to do, this is going to be irritating actually, because that means we need to come out the north. Yeah. Coming out the north to try and go to Machine Factory is a little more tricky. We ideally want to be going back south. So our options then, we move those 2 jobs and then hook up to it. Or just trying to think of the best way to do this actually. Or we could hook up to it, reverse it, put it on this line, reverse back, see there's another 3 line on C. If not, come through B, come to the front and then rehook up to it. I think that's going to be the best way, and that way we can head back out south. Yes, I think that's the plan. I'll have a look whilst we're down the front, see if there's any other 3 lines on here. So we're going to need, for a starter, that switch has got to change. There's no other 3 lines on C. Not to worry, we can use B. There will probably be a 3 line on that. So, let's get the train started up. Turn the wipers off now, we don't need them. Brake cutout, handbrake. So they all reapply every time you shut down the game, so just something to be aware of. Brake pressure is good. Pull forward. Switch that over. Chuck it in the reverse gear. Yeah, it's a bit of a... it looks like a bit of a trek through D. Looks like B's the better option. We shall have a look. We shall have a look at the signals when we're down there. Now thankfully this one is cooled a little better than the DH2, so we don't have to worry about pulling things from the front and overheating. I thought we were getting a bit quick there. Go past that signal as the remainder is set correctly. Into forward. A lot of these stations you've got to improvise how you get turned round and things like that. Turntables are not every station, but there is usually a layout where things can be figured out where you can maneuver things to your benefit. You've just got to think about it a little bit, plan ahead. A bit like when we encountered those cars in oil refinery. Certainly wasn't the end of the world. And we shall get out. Just rolling a little bit, we'll give it a little touch of throttle. Click. It does mean hooking up to the train, sorting it all out, and dropping it again. One of those things. I think it's this one actually, so it might be. Yep, I think we're good on that. And of course, as we've not handed the job in yet, all of this is free time, not on the clock. This is where the wireless remote does come in really handy. Because there's the signal. How do we know when the front of the train is now past it? Well, we stand here and watch it. Now on standard you can use this wireless remote as well to couple and uncouple. I've gotten kind of used to doing it manually. Doesn't faze me. Realistic, you've got to do it that way. Oh, wrong button, wanted that one. Some Wally. Go to pace, get it in. Now as long as we don't leave the station, there isn't a problem with moving stuff around. So doing this to our benefit is not an issue. So we just leave it here. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I should put the handbrake on down here so when we re-hook up, we haven't got to go as far. We go run the length of the train once. So we can go into here, sort of, let's see how far back it is actually. Break off, give it some beans, and here comes a little bit of rain. Thankfully this isn't real weight we're pulling around, so we don't need to worry about it. I think it's going to be easier going down that side actually, maybe. Yeah, I think it's going to be easier going that way. So we're effectively going through... In fact, is it? That's B, that side. I'm mistaken. Right. Give it some welly. So we're going through effectively what the passenger station side of the platform is. Give it some juice. Right. So we want C, we're going to C2S from the south, so right, left. Happy days. That's not a problem, so that's set up for us. Up past this junction point, so we can hit the brakes now. Well overshot that, but hey. Get a bit of speed. Pull forward, get a bit more closer to the station, set our route, and we'll get the heck out of there. So I'll do another time lapse for this one with the journey. Just save time, then you can actually see us down at the station. Get the old wireless out. I find this easier. Hopefully it's got a few bits that we need down at the factory. Oh, look at that. Like butter. Yes, that was a fluke. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, maybe, we can even then pick up our second DH4. Do this because it's just easier than changing the lights every 2 minutes. Now, as we can see from the load card, this is 92 tons. It's nothing to this beast, but it will pay our fuel bill. And it's more than likely we'll refuel down at machine factory. We'll do a refuel, reservice down there. The good thing, like the DE2, if we're not running enough weight to run both DH4s when we get the second one, we'll just have the second one turned off. We don't use any fuel then. Means we're carrying around extra bit of weight, but when we need it for, say, getting up hills, it is there and ready for us. Especially coming forward like this. I think we've overshot the station. Yes, we have. Right, so setting up. We're going to machine factory in town 2CS. So we'll set up our route first. We'll come out of food factory. I think our best bet, I'm going to go right there. Come around here, come down here, it's going to be a keep left into machine factory in town. It's nice and simple, iron ore mine west and machine factory in town. So iron ore mine west, coming in from the north, in through B. We're going to keep left, keep right, straight through, nice. Then machine factory in town. We are going C2S, coming in from the north. So we're going to keep left, keep right. C2 was it? Yes, it was. C2. So keep right, keep left into C2. Bonus. Nice and easy. So let's hand this job in. And let's get out of here. Right. Break off. Bit of throttle. Right, I'll see you guys down at Machine Factory in town. in Machine Factory, and as per normal, back to my regular scheduling. I went the wrong way. But we've made it. Got it in. Probably hit that a little bit harder than I wanted to, but you know, it's done. 21,000 for that one. Thank you very much. You may have noticed I stopped off at City West and picked up some stuff. So we're here at Machine Factory now. I do want to go to the shop and see. There's B. We want to go across towards D, which is the passenger station. So the flags that I picked up in the last place, I'll get them respawned into our shed in a minute. Along with anything I picked. Oh yes, this is what I'm looking for more. Right, so distance tracker. We want one of those. Got the hammer. Don't need beacons. Let's pick up Olaf's garage key. Why not? Don't need those. Couple of button controllers handy. Don't want the overheating protection unit yet, but we will be getting that at some point. Couple of rotary controllers. And DVRT paint cans are for repainting. And the demonstrator paint cans as well. Done on the alternating control. Done on the automatic train stop. Don't want the amp limiter. Don't want the proximity reader. We have the remote control. We only need one. Remote signal booster might be handy later on. You know what? We got the money. Battery charger could be handy, but I don't think we really want to. Anti-wheel slip, expensive. We do want a switch setter. Yes. We're still not finding. Get a couple of those as well. Do I get the anti-wheel slip computer? Yeah, we can manage it. Yeah, I don't think we will. So we're still missing the rest of the controls to actually fit this stuff. So it's 53,000. We're spending a freaking fortune. Keys, because I prefer to carry keys. Right, let's head back over to our shed. Just back at the station, which is over here. We'll recall all this stuff, sort the shed out quickly, and we'll look at jobs. See, all this stuff is starting to get in. These lights are going to be for the inside instead of the natural lights that we would normally use. The flags are for taking many jobs. I'm only going to keep a couple of them for the minute. In fact, I might just... because we can only take 2 jobs currently. No, if I wanted you in there, I would have put you in there. Multi-flags. Right. These up here. I would mount that, but we need more equipment to be able to do it. So, shut that there. In fact, we'll keep that. Keep that on us. Let's just stand the push button. Sure, I got more than one of those. Yes, I did. Right. There we go. Right. That's that sorted. Right, let's have a look at jobs. Fact, engines. Is there a DH4 here? That is a question. Where is... It's over here. And the Eagle Eye amongst you will have noticed as well, found at City West, is the Museum DH6. There's another one. Now these museum pieces are a random spawn around the map. They're not preset. Although they spawn in certain places, which ones will spawn where is... Hello, pretty. Now, funnily enough, I'm sure we got our first DH4 from here. And now there's more of them. So now we've got some serious pulling power. Now we can take jobs up to 1.2 tons. So now, concurrent license may well be very, very worth it. What I'm thinking of doing is repair our train, pick up that second DH4, as well as we'll see what jobs are currently here that we can get. Now there's slim picking, but well worthwhile. Back to the harbour. Nice. And there's some more jobs up there for 2 pickups for loading for the harbour. Now these are actually small. Small in length. Ooh. Oh, there's a lovely combo. Those two need to go together. So put that one there. Put that one there. Grab that one out. Because both of those get dropped in G5I. This is something to be very wary of when you're doing these sort of things. Because dropping those two off together, they're both going in exactly the same place. So the way you hook up your train is going to be worth it. I think it's going to be worth us clearing our fees and getting concurrent orders too. Albeit it goes up £10,000 and we lose 5% of our time. We'll be able to take all 3 jobs and we're only going to run 1 DH4 to haul all 3 at that price. That is tasty. Right, so we need to get our DH4 down to down to servicing. Right, wipers off. Fire up. We are going forward. What I'll do is I will see you guys over at the service bay. And there we go, pulling into the service yard. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of an accident. I accidentally set the signal wrong and slammed into the other DH4 there. So that's going to cost us to repair that, as well as a little more to repair our DH4. Silly me trying to do too many things in one go. So, we're going to repair this, run across, clear all our fees, get the concurrent 2 license, because we are going to need that, and then we can connect up more than 1 DH4. Right, so that off, handbrake on because I don't want it rolling anywhere. Here we go. Oh, I forget I've got to keep hold of that. There we go. So yeah, you can see I've done some body damage there. Silly me. Thankfully, we've got the money to sort this. With that extra license, with the second DH4 as well, which we're not going to need it for these jobs. Right, the one thing I did miss last time, if we had more than 1 train connected, use this here, rotate it round, and even though we're only connected to the front one, we can service as many trains as we have connected. So that's going to cost us 24. Happy days, that's that done. Take that out so I don't forget to do it later. And long run back over to the station house. As you can see, night is setting well in. Unfortunate, but that's the name of the game. Probably going to do a night run back down to the harbour. I think it's going to be well worth our time. Now, I apologise if you can hear my fan on the recording, but unfortunately it is freaking hot here. Apparently we didn't cause any damage, and the use of the other DH2 is not really bothered us. Right, so concurrent orders 2. We are going to get that. 20,000. Thank you very much. Drop that in there. Do we want to get anything else whilst we're here? We come across the S060. That would only be 20,000, but don't really want to do it up yet. I want to start doing some big money. Hazmat 1. 40,000. Another 4%, so that's going to be 10% reduction in time. Now I think that's going to be worthwhile, because that'll increase some of the jobs we can do. So we can now take as many jobs as we want, and we can start doing hazmat jobs. Excellent. This is the name of it. Start getting all these licenses together. I don't think there's any other ones we really want to be doing at the moment. Hazmat 2 is 130, don't want to do that. Military. So license wise, we're actually sitting pretty for not doing too much. I mean, Hazmat 2, Hazmat 3 will be an idea at some point. D6 definitely. Military, there's just over 500,000 worth in licenses, so we won't be bothering with that yet. Now this is what we're going to be doing. But what we want to look at is what we are dropping off first. So G and D at the harbour. So G and D. Now here's the problem. We're going to be coming in from this way. So I think... do we reverse down with the big load into D, pull forward and drop off the little one in G? I think that's going to be the best bet, but we're going to have to come into C to reverse the whole thing back round. Yeah. Because we don't want to drive into D, because otherwise we ain't getting out. Not easily anyway. Let's have a look. It's only 3 cars for that, so it'd be 4, 5 in total length. Maybe, but I'd rather not run the risk. I'd rather just get down there, get sorted. So I think we'll go into C. So we'll keep right there. That's going to be a keep right. That's going to be a keep right. So I want to check C first. And we're going to go into the loading line. So that's a keep right and a keep right. Because the loading line will always be clear. Guaranteed. 100% all the time. That will always be empty. So then we're going to go into G next, I think. Oh no, they're getting dropped off in G, so that's getting dropped off in D. Ooh, that changes things. Yeah, I think we have this at the front and drop this lot off in G first. So that's going to G5I. We're coming in from this side, so it's going to be keep right, keep left into G. D. We're going to want to keep left because we're coming in this way, so it's the left. That's going into D4I. So that's a keep right, keep left, D4I, happy days, right. So now that's set. Let's set my points for actually going here. So we're going to keep right, keep left. We're actually going to keep right, keep left and go across this line here because we're going to bypass these stations. This is a much clearer run. So when it gets here, it'll be a keep right, keep left, keep right, keep left into harbour. So that's a nice straightforward run for us now. That should be the point set correctly. So we want this one up first, second. Let's put my compass away because that was me trying to figure out if I was going the wrong way, which I was. We are going to need some flags. That's there. And this one last. Because that way we've got semi-trailers, tractors, semi-trailers. Right. Now we can go put our two DH2s together. DH2s, DH4s. The question is, which one out of the two that are over there do we want? Do we want that one there? Or do we want this one here? I reckon we'll take this one, because I haven't crashed into it. So, get this started up. Handbrake off, because we can't do that with a remote. Slight reverse, in fact, I think the brake cutout might be on because we've serviced it. Yes, it is. Right, okay. Brake cutout off. Into reverse, brakes off. Reversey, 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 and we'll use this turntable. As a good old saying goes, round and round where she goes, where she stops, I know. Or at least I think I do. Look at that. You would have thought I knew what I was doing. I know, assumptions can be deceiving. We don't want to do this quick. We don't want another crash. Right. So, connecting up these, exactly the same as if we were doing two DH2s. That on there, that on there. Apply the brake lever, airline cut-offs, and we are going to connect the blue lead. Because that means we can run both at the same time. Now, important notes, we do need the starter and the electrics on. Handbrake off. We leave the brake cutout on this one disengaged. We're going to turn on cab lights. Lights will all get controlled from there. Same as the reverser and everything is all controlled from the main one. Right, so now, as you can see, this moves quite nicely. We've got to do this slow because this only just fits on the turntable. And we need to give it a little bit of a turn to get it round so we can get off the track. So we've got to watch this. Basically, we want the wheels of the rear one just onto there. Brake into full. pretty sure that is a setup for that. Excellent. Right. So still and forward. Break off. Off we go. Now if we were carrying the two semi-trailers next to each other, the flag would be where essential comes in. Carrying two trailers of the same type, the flags are essential for not having to look at the car numbers again and the job IDs. Just makes it a quicker reference, get it all dropped off, just makes it easier. Right, so I shall see you guys when I've got this all hooked up and we're ready to go. Okay, so we've got a whole trailer assembled, and I'll give you an idea of how these flags work. So we'd normally be looking, this is where we'd want to drop. So what we can do, chuck a flag there, and we can actually see that flag. We just got to remember to pick it up after we dropped it off. So as that's going to be the first drop off anyway, if we'd had the flatbeds at the front, it would be a way to distinguish between those two loads other than the job number and the car number. So now we've got all that hooked up, we already know we've got all our points set. What we should have, we can go hand all these 3 jobs in and we can get out of here. Start making our way to the harbour. Right, so job 1, job 2, job 3. Now we can literally take any number of jobs. The main thing that's stopping us now is the train power. Change that. We're heading back. Get us starting to roll. There's a little bit of weight between these 3 loads, but not ridiculous. Right, so let's get the hammer down, and I shall see you down at the harbour. seems to be a theme for this series I'm doing. I went the wrong way again. So I'm getting rather good at that at the moment. Surprisingly, on the one I did on standard, I only went the wrong way sort of twice. And like I thought I did, I was actually going the right way before I made that change. D4I. Straight ahead and empty, we like that. If I hadn't made that change, we would have gone the right way. So typical of me. Start applying the brake. Not too much of it, but enough. Yeah, that I went the wrong way yet again. That's too much brake too early. Let that off there, let it roll. So yeah, not the end of the world. Got to see a bit more of Derail Valley. That is us at the harbour and everything dropped off. So what I'll do, switch the engine off here. Sprint down. Teleporting as fast as our little legs will carry us. I'll go hand these jobs in. Now they're all dropped off in the right relevant places. So we should still, hopefully, get the time bonus. I'm praying. I did remember to pick up my flag. That's saying... Okay, that's saying it's wrong. In progress. Right, okay. That's good. 30,000. That's good. 52,000. So there's something wrong with what we've done. So D4I is where it needs to be. We're in the D yard. It's in D4I. Did I put a handbrake on? Don't think I did. I think that is the problem. So it's 3469, so it's definitely the right car, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to hand the other two in. Let's try that again. Is it just the fact it's the handbrake? So without the handbrake, it's probably not recognising the fact it's in the right place. One detail, I'm not sure if you guys picked it up, but when we went into the shaded areas, our wireless remote stopped charging. That's a nice little detail, especially being so it's solar powered. There we go. And 20,000 for that. I hadn't put the handbrake on. So we're back up to 235,000. Nice. Right. I shall end this episode here. And when we restart, I'll have sorted this desk out to see what we are doing next. Especially being so we can now haul some serious weight. And we're on a fresh day. And the weather's looking good. Awesome. Right guys, I shall see you in the next one.